people. I like talking to them. Get videoing as well.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now in English, it's like in a Berlin cafe. Yeah, anyone got any energy left at all?
Yes.
I watched that film. Hope that's better. I watched that film 3 times in a row today. And someone should feed me to the crocodiles, I think. Anyhow, for me, this film is for the actor Robert Pattinson, a sort of coming-of-age film. It's a film that in a way must have been a gift for him to get this role, because we really see how he can act. And I think it's sort of been the credibility coming-of-age film for Robert Pattinson. Anyhow, I think you don't need to hear a huge amount from me. Instead, I'd like to introduce on stage the star of the film. Please welcome with me, Robert Pattinson.
Guten Abend.
That's it, isn't it? That's it, Robert. Yeah, the fucking English. Right. It's amazing, really. You were an actor before you were an actor, in a way. The Safdie brothers spent 10 years making independent movies, and then created this, and you've sort of met in the middle. How was it, and how important was it, do you think, that you come, in a way, from 2 different worlds? I mean, it's a film world, obviously, but 2 different worlds in the middle and met.
Well, coming from a kind of...
Well, you're much more popular, you know, you're a star. They're independent movie makers, and this is the first time they've worked with A-listers, as it were.
I mean, it's weird, because I sort of have really only made a few big movies. I kind of started doing little tiny movies that no one saw, and then did the Twilight series, and then kind of in between did a bunch of...
Don't say the T word, we don't need to know the T word. No, but I mean, people have seen your development, and they have seen that you have been learning your craft, but you've learnt your craft really in the public eye, haven't you?
Yeah, it's embarrassing. It's been a very slow, arduous process.
What did they learn from you? I mean, normally people would ask what you learned from them, but what did they learn from you in this process?
What did the Safdies learn? I have no idea. Probably nothing. I don't know. I mean, with this wasn't a movie before I met them. I met them and I was so enthusiastic about Heaven Knows What, their previous movie.
Well, it's not true, is it? You hadn't seen the movie. You saw a poster and you sent them an email. What was it about that poster?
I just kind of knew from it wasn't even a poster, it was a photograph, and then I seen the trailer, and then the original Heaven Knows What trailer was really, it was just so frenetic and had so much energy behind it, and I really wanted to do something that wasn't boring, and they seemed like just the go-to guys who just, and also that they hadn't really been discovered that much yet. But I did a meeting with them and kind of just was extremely, extremely passionate, and this kind of just came out of a meeting, really.
What did they think of you? Because you approached them, so I just wondered if
they told me afterwards. They said when I sent them an email, Josh Safdie was sort of asking his producer and asking Benny, the other Safdie, saying, what do we do about this? Like, we shouldn't. Like, should we reply? And I think he only replied like 2 weeks later or something. yeah, they didn't know what to make of it. But I like so few things that I think once I find something I like, I just really, really go all in on it, and kind of overwhelm them. And it's weird because that's kind of how they direct as well. They just sort of overwhelm you with inspiration and ideas and just keep the energy extremely high.
I mean, this character, Connie, I mean, he's an idiot. He makes the wrong choices in life. He has very little empathy, which is weird for a main character, because normally a main character has a lot of empathy. How did you transport what was on the page for this character into what we saw on screen?
He's a psychopath. It's kind of, but I thought, when I first read the script, I just thought it was very funny, and maybe that's kind of my own issues. But that's my. Initially, I thought he was hilarious, and the initial draft of the script was a lot more extreme. I mean, the movie now is pretty extreme, but I mean, it was really pushing the envelope of what it was kind of acceptable to do in a movie.
So why did they leave those parts out? Because they must have told you if you saw it and then said, oh, hey.
Yeah, well, I mean,
it was these dream sequences, wasn't it? Some sort of.
That was what we shot, but yeah. I mean, at the first few drafts of the script was kind of, it's sort of. I mean, it's very provocative now, but I mean, it was just even more provocative. But I mean, it was a very organic process with the script. I mean, things just didn't really seem to work out. But I mean, I'm always attracted to things which are quite sort of audacious and yeah.
How did you find the core of the character? How did you find your way in to playing Connie?
I saw this. Well, it was interesting. It wasn't like they wrote a script and then sent the script and I did everything at once. They kind of wrote a couple of scenes and a sequence, and so I had about 9 months to kind of get my head around it. And then I met a few people who were kind of lived similar lives to Connie in New York, and there was one guy in particular who was sort of he'd been in jail for bank robbery and stuff, and it was interesting. And then also just kind of I was just in New York for such a long time and doing prep and kind of just hanging out with people from that world for ages.
I mean, there's enough psychopaths in Hollywood, isn't there?
I mean, but it's also, I can't really tell the difference between a psychopath and a non-psychopath, to be honest.
The psychopaths are on stage. Is there a point to a character that you need to find first?
I think if there are lines in a script which you're excited about saying, whether it's because you're scared to say them or whether it's just because they have a nice musicality or something, I think once you're excited about saying a line, and there are a few lines in this where I just thought they were just fun, and I was just really, really looking forward to saying them, and then you can kind of string the rest of the character construction around that. But I think with this especially, it was definitely a voice. Once I kind of got the accent, it sort of dictates a lot of the other character stuff.
I mean, there's a real fucked up love between the brothers in this, isn't there? That is sort of at the core of this movie. And they wrote this for you, with you in mind. With the themes in the movie, I mean the themes, not actually what happens, obviously, but with the themes in the movie, do you think they relate to you as well? Because I found a lot of them quite universal. This idea about life is made up of different choices, and depending on the choices that you make, that will lead your life. Were those the things that you could also hook onto and understand about the character?
I don't know. I mean, I never really look at things to do with themes. I mean, it's kind of. I mean, I kind of. I can never really see. If someone tries to just ask me what a movie I did is about, I never really know what it's. I mean, I wouldn't be able to tell you like what it's about. I remember even when we first started promoting this, I would describe it in one way, and the Safdies would just be like, "What are you talking about? That's like not
Which
even
movie?
vague." Yeah, it's like not even vaguely what it's. Because in my head, I mean, it's kind of there was one guy who's seen the movie, who's the one person who had his reaction, because I was playing it the entire time. Like, he doesn't even know who his brother is. Like, I mean, the backstory, which is not really. It's not comprehensive at all in the movie, but like we had a very exhaustive backstory written out for Connie and Nick's entire lives, and they were estranged. I mean, Connie, basically the story is that Connie was in jail for a couple of years, and whilst he was in jail, just gets obsessed with his brother, who he hasn't seen in 12 years, and hasn't really got a concept of how mentally handicapped he is or anything. He's just decided, I need to have a family. I'm going to take this guy and make him my family. It's a very, very one-sided love, and because Connie is a psychopath, like that's the way he likes it. He wants to have relationships only on his terms, and so Nick is the perfect person for that because he seems kind of pure and doesn't really have that much agency, yeah, so he's kind of, it's a very sort of, he says he loves him and he feels like he loves him, but he doesn't really know what love is at all. He has his own very specific type of love.
Even that's weird, isn't it? With the character played by Jennifer Jason Leigh, this, you know, that they don't fit at all. You know, it's just such a weird relationship. Then there's this sort of, he seems to be driven by a lot of guilt, and maybe that's the basis of guilt, is the relationship with, or the non-relationship for many years with his brother.
Yeah, it's very guilty, and also, what was I about to say? Sorry.
It'll come.
Yeah, he kind of, with Jennifer. I mean, I think kind of sort of fucked up people attract other fucked up people. I mean, it just always seems to happen.
Speaking from personal experience here, aren't you? It's all right, I know a lot of fucked up people as well. Oh God, now that's thrown me completely. No, the other thing that really hit me in the film is how it's also so much about today and Trump's America, because your character is abusive to people who seem to be in greater need than him, you know, and then the black guy that they beat up, who was in that Tom Hanks film, the actor, I've got his name now. They beat him up, and who did the police arrest? But the black guy, you know, and so it's got some sort of parallels to Trump's America.
Yeah, well, just a lot of different places as well. I mean, it's funny, again, with the kind of the overarching themes. I mean, I guess what you're talking about the access point to a character as well. I think, because like I never really thought of Connie as like, I don't think he's like a racist as such, or like I think he definitely doesn't think of himself as one, and that's where it comes into kind of white privilege kind of story, because I think Connie is one of those people who, even when he's lying, he's not lying in his head. Like, it's kind of every single thing, because he's doing it because the reasons behind his actions in his head are always legitimate. No matter what he does, he thinks he's justified. Like, and the perfect example for the whole story is that, like, I'm doing all this stuff for my brother. I'm trying to save my brother, but like, he's the one who's causing all the problems, and he has absolutely no conception of that. Yeah.
Are you a good actor? No, I just want to know his own perspective, because I think, I saw an interview with you where you said that you're full of insecurities but this seems to be the role in one way that was made for you, because what's really fascinating about the character is that with all that lack of empathy, you are transfixed on you on screen.
I mean, it's also it's writing. I mean, I don't know if I would, but I mean, it's actually such a weird thing because you're so reliant on a million different elements. I mean, you can be the greatest actor in the world, and if you just keep getting shit scripts, it's like, it doesn't make any difference. I mean, you can be really unlucky. I mean, like, there's only so much polishing a turd you can do. Like, I mean, but if you get kind of this sort of synergy of like a bunch of disparate elements, and they come together at the right time. And I think also, like, I think it's really important when people think they're making something important and convince everyone around them. On this, it was kind of, and there's obviously no budget or anything, but because of, like, the Safdies have this energy which infuses into their movies as well, but you can feel it on the set. It's like a train, and I think everybody who was working there just sort of realized that the train is going to go, like, no matter what, and so you can just kind of hold on to it and it will go somewhere. I don't know, it's kind of, yeah, you just get these sort of lucky moments when you just, you see a photograph on the internet, and it ends up being something kind of special.
So who have you written to in the last week then for the next one?
Shitloads of people.
Yeah, anyone. Just go, yeah.
Putting an ad in Loot.
Well, I must say, first of all, thank you. This film, I think, for you, is an absolute turning point, massive film, will be a massive film when you look back on your career, and it was a privilege. I watched it 3 times today, as I said.
Today?
Yeah, I watched it 3 times. I couldn't stay in here for the 4th time because I thought, fucking hell, I'm going to be, like, beaten up, And, yeah, obviously the Safdie brothers are brilliant directors, but your presence on screen was fantastic, and it was a privilege to watch it, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Do you want to get something signed? Are you sure? He's taking time. That's give me the Chris one, please. Just Chris. Leider gefahren mit dem Stuhl. He's taking pictures. I just want something for Chris. Too late. Okay, guys. Hope you liked it. Bye bye.